tap that button. Switch the scene.
Capcom.
Green. A great logo to have.
Oh yeah.
I
It's so simplistic.
only hope. Hello, everybody. By the way, I only hope that I will remain as jazzed for the Battle Network collection in a year as I am right now. Now that they've announced it, I suspect I will. I'm pretty sure that actually being able to physically put the game in my Switch. By the way, I know I'm a big PlayStation stan. Those are all Game Boy Advance games. There's no way I'm not getting that on Switch, y'all.
Well, I'm a big PlayStation stan myself, but I do have the distinct feeling that some games are just better for certain things.
Like, I did get the Zero and ZX Advent collection on PlayStation, and I don't mind that. Like, that's perfectly fine. That reminds me, I don't think I ever bought... I beat regular ZX. I don't think I ever beat Advent on the collection. I should dig that out sometime when I'm not still working on Three Hopes.
I do know that the Mega Man X collections are on PlayStation 4. Did they come out on other things like the Switch and stuff?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're on like Switch and Steam and whatnot. I believe usually they try to put Mega Man out everywhere. I think Battle Network Collection, for instance, is PlayStation, Switch, PC. There is no official word on an Xbox launch. I didn't think so. No, the stream doesn't start at 9. To let everybody know, if you're here early, we're still a little late for our usual time. I scheduled it for 9 because, in case you guys have not been paying attention to me melting down on Discord and Twitter, my upload speed over the internet was shit. But knock on wood, I think we finally beat it. My stream upload is okay, no dropped frames, and I had to very quickly script, asset, shoot, upload, wanted for tonight because Albert is trying to murder me. And I got to do that again in a week. But I did get that out of the way. So I padded the stream out for 9 because I did not know how long uploading and stuff would take. And it did take us a little bit longer to get our shit together than usual. But we are able to start on time-ish. I think everybody with notifications should hypothetically get a notification we're live. If you've got it set to all notifications. I'm not a master of the bell system. I just know that the bell exists.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
But so we're firing up, and we were just shooting the shit about Battle Network Collection. Yeah, I don't remember if that's going to be on Xbox or not, but it should be everywhere else. It's just that, like I said, they're a... To me, those, I played those games, mostly on DS, but, I played them on handheld, and I'm just like, I don't know if I can imagine that not just in that format with those, like, types of controllers. I will technically probably play them on... expanded, because I feel like I said I want to try and stream those games to everybody to make everyone feel my enthusiasm for these games. But yeah, I don't know if I could do that the normal way. But let's press the button. Let's start figuring out what we're doing. Sorry, Amogus had a very funny tweet where they hit an Amogus in a super deep space shot that the Webb Space Telescope just took.
Must have been someone who was not an imposter.
All right. Yeah, we got this on screen, so we can play the guess where Herlock game is.
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's just gonna be over there on the fucking right at some point. I have a feeling.
Yeah,
just so many goddamn
before we
books.
boot up this screen again, I think it was... Well, actually, I think we can examine this, so we can just get it to continue. Because I'm pretty sure we have to look at this room. Let me get in position.
Yeah, we're still in the examine mode. The cat has left.
Literally still in examine. That's right, yes. I saved right here because last week... Lucky was morally correct. Whoa. It's too far back in my chair there. Okay. But we had to examine the cat.
Yes.
And it meowed at us. Okay, so let me settle into my position. Hold on, that's not going to work. Water, you come here.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
It's very important because it's very hot as usual, and also I have to do a lot of speaking. Because I'm going to... Herlock will appear. He's here somewhere, so I'm going to have to do those lines. But okay. As usual, let's do our start at the one side and move over. Okay. Let's examine the Maneki Neko.
Look, it's a beckoning cat from home.
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him. That's why my Maneki Neko is portable.
You should get me a Maneki Neko.
Actually, it's very funny. I got a red one for, was it Fortune? Good Luck? Well, they're all good luck in general, but like I think it was specifically monetary fortune. But I
Usually
got it
they are.
at Walt Disney World's Epcot in their Japan section. So
wow.
my Maneki Neko is also a Disney World souvenir. And it sits on top of my computer and hopefully brings good luck to the machine spirits.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to beckon fortune and wealth. I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo.
Correct.
Are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in with your luggage? What?
Yeah, it's true. Wasn't there a giant Daruma in Cosmo's cabin?
I do not remember.
I don't exactly remember either, but something like that. Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I wanted a lucky charm.
Can't you just buy a fucking... Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same, and his cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
Yep. Well, he doesn't have it on him right now, so I think that's his problem.
I mean, somehow he got the only 2 Japanese lawyers probably on all of Britain, so... I mean, only
Yeah,
Japanese lawyer
okay,
and
true.
judicial assistant.
I guess we're just going to have to assume that Herlock Sholmes is chaos mode. Cat fortunes cannot defeat him.
Lies!
It's not doing a very good job so far, is it?
It's all a matter of perspective, Ryunosuke. Yeah, that's right! You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word! Stop using your mind bullets on me. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Okay. Yeah, it's just a pile
ready
of
for
books.
a pile of books?
Look at all these books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
Old book.
I'm quite particular with the smell of new book.
I mean, they're both pretty good. Books are great, new and old. Just don't smoke near them.
Yeah, that's
I think
horrible.
I've talked about this. My maternal grandmother, in her like later retirement years, at least before the dementia, she ran a flea market. So when she did finally pass away, she had a lot of bric-a-brac. But she and her husband, not my actual grandfather, my maternal grandfather passed away long before I was born. But they both smoked like chimneys, so everything they owned smelled like smoke when we inherited it. So I think we gave most of the stuff a thorough wash, but I've still got some random like statuettes and bric-a-brac and other shit and books that like still smell like tobacco to this day. Okay, let's see. With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you?
No, what a dreamy idea.
A bad dream, maybe, for me at least. That's right, you don't study. Even though you are a college student. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read again.
So reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us. I mean, I kind of agree with that philosophy. You can reread something, but the first time you read it is an experience.
I mean, metaphysically, she's correct, but physically, literally, we are comparing, Mono no Aware to, I put a book at the bottom of the pile. I will never get it back.
Yes.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy.
I mean, I can kind of understand it. Even in my organized bookshelf, like a lot of books I've just read once, and I just keep them there now forever because I'm just like, yes, good, in your proper place. I would only assume that the book would be at the bottom of a bookshelf because it has been read, and I would hope so.
Well, yeah, I assume what this is supposed to represent is Natsume buys books. He reads all the books. He puts the book on the floor because he can't afford bookshelves. He buys new books. He reads those books. He puts the new books on top of the old books, and it's just geographic stratification of books. All right, tell me about the window. Can you even call this a window? What is a window? A miserable pile of glass.
I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is a frame around some bricks now.
So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that?
Insulation. I'm afraid I have no idea.
I actually do know the answer to this because of this game, but it'll come back later.
Ah, perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on in a fit of whimsy.
That's alarmingly feasible, but also totally not true. Come on, it's right there. You can tell. It's not painted bricks. Anyway,
Actually,
whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes this place very oppressive.
Actually, now that I look about it, there's brick on the side. That plaster's over the brick. Huh. It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying.
Yeah, no shit. With just one little gas lamp burning.
Honestly, if I'm understanding these proportions right, that gaslight is very high up.
Yeah, let's see. She's got like a 2 or 3 layer bookshelf that's probably, like 3-ish feet high. So I'm pretty sure the reason why there's not books stacked here is because Natsume has to climb over this shit to turn on his gaslight.
Probably. Sorry, everybody, Legendary. We had said that Omega had set it up that we would be streaming later just in case the export went horrendous. But it didn't. We got everything set up. And you know us. We are not one to be bound by such concepts as time and space.
No, we were technically a little later than we usually start, but yes, we were reasonably early. But it's because
fuck you, time.
Yeah, fuck you, time. But luckily, like I said, everything managed to work tonight, and I got the one it actually exported and uploaded in an incredibly rapid manner for how I've usually been doing with uploads these days.
Yeah.
But all right, we looked at the desk.
That desk seems to be wedged into a crevasse between the mountains of books on either side.
I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat.
Sounds like a...
But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes, surely he dreamt of books every night as well.
Yes. He must have done, mustn't he? What? Oh, what's this?
I feel like that was some kind of, illusion or metaphor we missed.
I know. That was very grammatically weird.
Aha!
It's a receipt from... I'm sorry, I'm laughing about your...
Evidence.
It is evidence. It's a receipt from a secondhand bookshop. Your books. God.
The puns! You cannot defeat them. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, and the date of purchase? 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m.
Wasn't that when the murder was?
That's the day of the incident. That's the day of the incident.
That's the day. That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books. Yes, I'm totally going to do the Doomsday voice anytime I see orange text.
The second-hand book receipt has been added to the court record.
Yay!
Was there always an arrow that we could look over? Or did they save that until just now?
I'm not sure.
All right, so he purchased, for the sum of 2 shillings, the picture of Monsieur Lecoq, A Meal for Gabrielle, Canterbury Yearnings.
I'm pretty sure that third one is spicy.
Mr. Natsume, are you perhaps buying last century French lithographs?
Maybe.
By the way, in case you guys don't know the rule of first adopters, every new media is used for porn.
Yes.
If humans invented a medium, they will put porn on it. So, lithographs and like early photographic media was absolutely used to take pictures of naked ladies. Yeah, you've already.
Do you
done
remember
that.
there being some interesting ones like ankles?
Aha!
There he is! I knew it! Ignore him! Ignore him! Shun!
No, he's our literal
Damn it.
only option.
Ah, look! Mr. Naruhodo!
Zoom.
You called it. Enhance!
Aha! There he is. Where did he appear from?
I'm surprised the cat's not with him. He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book.
Nah, if the cat moved over there, it would have attracted our attention. We have to stay subtle.
It's a cat. It does what it's a cat. It doesn't obey the moral laws of physics. I hope he won't mind if we disturb him. Hello? Mr. Sholmes?
Ah!
Abort!
You too, good day. It is I, Herlock Sholmes. Yes, this is my voice. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes. We were together on the SS Buria.
Yes, of course, the Burya. And let me see. What happened on that voyage? It was Kazuma Asogi. He died tragically. But you were a great help to us.
I feel like I should have ended in a question mark.
Ah, yes, but of course. The case of Mr. Asogi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it? Oh, I never forget the snake case. Well, you seem to remember something of it, at least.
What? No. To be remembered. What's an no? Or to be remembered vaguely. I can't do my fucking voice.
Well, I don't know how much you guys can hear me coughing and dying. I leaned back, but I lost it the moment I read the line.
What an honor to be. I can't do it. What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. God damn it, Susato-san.
Oh my god. Susato, Iris writes the stories. She puts the facts. Shouldn't you be sipping for her now?
That is Mr.
Oh, no. My dear madam, hold your tongue. Yes. I pride myself on superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic.
This is about to be fucked up.
Miss Naruhodo and Mr. Susato.
I don't know if you heard it, but I just kind of head bonked my mic as I was just like, God damn it.
Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round. Yes. In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. An entirely trivial case, of course. Solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short an amount of time? Well, remember, Ryunosuke, the crime scene was literally over there. Like, if you could look out this window right now, you could see that street corner.
That's probably why it didn't take so long.
I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements just a little.
That's probably why little Watson does this shit.
A little?
I mean, Wilson, excuse me.
It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones.
I feel like you should work on that a bit more.
Yes! Those are my own inimitable words, my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure called A Study in Scarlet. Wow, A Study in Scarlet is canon. Please, there's no need to quote yourself. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but unfortunately my associate pens them beautifully. Hey, you were right. He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes. Sato Glare. We have some extremely important questions to ask you about your trivial case you just mentioned.
Goodness! What an earnest expression.
This is Sato Glare is powerful, yo.
My dear madam, I should be only too pleased. And this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. Let us have a murky discussion. Ask me your murky questions.
Yeah, because you got a murky braid and you gotta get some shit straight.
No, hey. It's gonna conversation. All right. Mr. Natsue's arrest. We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines.
But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? I hope this is the part where he says, I didn't say to arrest him. I just said that's where he was.
I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean.
Yeah. What?
I can't believe he was looking Susato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I am not merely feigning ignorance. Damn it, he could do it. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh? How? What? Where? Why?
Who?
Yes. I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your stupid compatriot of the crime.
God damn it.
But that doesn't make sense. The good detective of the Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote, verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man seen fleeing. There are a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you mentioned this like 2 streams ago when like this, I think this like first came up.
Yeah, I think it was early last week actually, but yeah, just like, what, you know, with all the fluster of hating Sholmes, watch them just ask him to find the guy, and he showed up, and then the cops just busted him anyway.
Yeah.
From the book plates, I was able to quickly determine that the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? Yes. I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit, then? That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties. Hence why I returned here, yes. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books. I find myself quite lost in the bibliophily, yes. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No, no, no.
Oh, dear.
Unfortunately, we're probably not going to figure out how he was seen in the fog until we get to the trial, because we don't get to pre-interview witnesses. I remember rightly, Gregson said that a copper was one of the witnesses. I don't think he described the other one yet. But he said a policeman was one of the witnesses, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, let's talk about the landlord. Tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb, a retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the great British institution that is the services.
Is that really how you phrase that, Susato?
Susato has some weird grammar.
Well, I guess it's the localizers had to set up this pun. And it was the first time I've ever met a maid from the great British institution that is service. Not true, though. Juror number 2. I didn't think it was that funny. I do apologize. Yes. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid.
Yes, I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
I see. And so, conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sonny? Ada?
No.
Simply put, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not, are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family.
Did Mr. Garrett actually seem that middle class? Goodness, how extraordinary. Sorry, I was thinking about something.
Yeah, you think about stuff. That's okay. I do guess that this would be enough post the Reformation, because Susanoo was only like 16. I don't know how big Japanese households would be. Like, obviously, during a lot of the samurai days, you would have like actual castles and manors with enormous amounts of servants.
Well, if I remember correctly, a lot of while like post Meiji restorations, there's a lot of nobility and stuff lost, said titles and stuff, but big clans were still big clans, and just by their force of numbers and influences with other people, we were able to maintain a lot of political influence and usually keep their whole like their lands and and homes. So I'm pretty sure there are still, like, at this time, very large Japanese clans that probably have not broken down. I'm pretty sure it's all up an upheaval, though.
As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and lower classes, not me, of course, aha, just being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. Not feeding yourself, not leaving the gas on, a maid. I had no idea. This is just driving Ryunosuke Naruhodo to think about locking in his maid cafe idea from last time.
Sick.
And it is for precisely that reason that I find the great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Man, localizers are killing with the fucking alliteration and stuff in Sholmes tonight. Specifically, yes, the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadeb. Oh? Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Possibly behind that screen, which one would use to hide something.
Or maybe his maid, who, has this bad habit of pouring tea on him, like 8 times.
Yeah, whenever he's about to tell us something interesting. Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. Alright, tell me about the dingy room.
Tell me about the cat. Give me the cat, Sholmes.
This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later.
Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one.
Ah, but sooner or later, as I said.
God damn it. I don't believe that's the issue here.
About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Wait, hold on, let me take that again. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea?
Perfect.
No window? Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts.
Is it actually a window? Is it a fake wall?
Been completely blocked with bricks.
That'd be so bullshit.
Ah, I see, yes. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax.
God damn it!
Window...
Wait, is that actually a tax something?
Tax? What is that?
Surely not on tax on Windows.
Precisely that, yes.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, Omega, please tell me, is there actually such a thing as a window tax?
I believe this is actually historically correct, yes.
What the fuck?
Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. No, we didn't actually count their tax bracket. We just were like, oh, you've got a lot of windows, you pay more taxes.
How is this one of the most advanced civilizations in the world?
Well, they actually have a tax code, I guess, is part of it. We don't just, be like, hey, give me $5. Those of lesser means, having inherited sizable and costly family homes perhaps, rapidly closed windows up. This also, by the way, means that, yes, tax evasion has also always been happening. While the rich opened windows here, there, and everywhere, actually. In an effort to curry favor by those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money.
So is this why a lot of historical Britain have fuck tons of... Oh my god! Sorry, Lucky is now running through the implications of this fucking window-based economy, and I'm just all like, what the actual fuck?
Yes, that means if you're rich and can afford the tax, you build lots of windows to tell everybody fuck you. And if you're poor but inherit a giant home, you block up your windows so you can pay your fucking tax bill.
Oh my god.
Guys, remember, this is the land of Charles Dickens and all that shit. Like, 18th century England was terrifying. Holmes is saying that they recently changed the tax, so I assume at some point around the turn of the century we moved to a different system, but like, damn.
How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light.
Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So, some 40 years, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished.
Oh, thank God.
But its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. Christ, that means this place has probably been a shitty rental flat for, like, at least 50 years.
I'm starting to have questions about Miss Garridib and his high-class nature. I think someone is fucking posing.
I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps.
Oh, it was not.
Yeah, it would appear so. I've done a little digging, actually, and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price.
Because the room is so awful, I should think.
Also, yes, even if you just count the window, this room sucks. We've talked, like, the lamp is way up there. It's a fucking bare floor. The plaster is cracking. Which also, by the way, the plaster is part of your insulation.
And this room's probably pretty fucking cold.
Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. Oh? Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Rent is too boring for me. I've got fucking tenure on a beautiful apartment uptown. I have friends rent control, don't you know? Ha ha ha. Are you sure? I'm curious now. No, that's the end of that conversation. Well, I believe I've told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes. Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of the law?
I keep expecting this man to tell me to look at our hands and be handcuffed again.
I'm waiting for it. They spent a lot of time on that animation. You remember that, did you? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well, then I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly, too. He's got a serious face on, guys. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients, to trust in their innocence. Yes. Trust, yes. Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea.
I'm glad you at least admit that.
Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there's simply
books!
too many fascinating books here. I can't possibly ignore them. Look how many books there are. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. Luckily, we know witnesses are bullshit.
Yeah, we do.
Ah, and one more thing. One more thing.
Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us. Susanna-san, I feel like you're very bipolar with Mr. Sholmes here.
Well, when it's because Mr. Sholmes himself has two opposites. When he's solving crimes, Susano's like, yes, great detective, slay. When he's just fucking around, she's like, Mr. Sholmes, you are not solving crimes right now. Why aren't you solving crimes right now? Stop reading books and solve crimes for my amusement. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to the case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Possibly in a cannon. Mr. Garadeb is? Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually, didn't he? Yes, I guess they just don't know what order you did the dialogue in, so you might have forgotten. Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays out in my mind in relation to this case.
Oh god, it's 80 outside right now. Fuck. Mr. Naruhodo. Aircon up! As yet, our investigations have uncovered nothing that can help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence. I mean, you found a receipt that said he actually bought books on the day of the fucking trial. I mean, of the incident.
Yeah, but remember he dropped, I think he dropped those books at the scene, so, is what Sholmes said earlier, so. He was definitely there, but he admits as much. I guess the question is we don't really have any evidence that he didn't do the shanking, is what she's saying. No, you're right.
Oh, that means we're gonna... Oh, that means that probably Van Dyke is gonna be like, blah, murder weapon.
He just throws the... I mean, it looked kind of like a folding knife. He just throws the folding knife at her face. Clank! Ah! Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Garadeb's secret.
Oh, I guess you're going back up to,
Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo.
I feel like every time he does that pose, he moves his head, there should just be a... Or...
I mean, they do usually fire up a little bit of a sound effect.
I can't hear it that well.
Indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Wait, hold on. Examine.
Is he actually still there?
Oh, yes. We have new dialogue if you click on him. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, so true. To be, or not to be. Yes. That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you reading Hamlet, you nerd? To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question. And the answer is all too clear.
I was about to say Macbeth, but you're all right. It is Hamlet. I'm dumb. I'm not the best at my Billy Shakes.
To be fair, part of this is because Billy Shakes wrote a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I can remember the plots of most of the famous ones, but if you want me to remember, like, specific quotes from a lot of them, it's like... Never mind also that he wrote, like, a bajillion sonnets as well. Whoops, sorry, I accidentally hit X when I was stretching my hand.
I'm pretty sure this was a, let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace. Shall we?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I got like most of it. Sick.
There's my be everybody. Stretchy hands.
Where'd the cat go?
He went into the great pile of books. Alas, we have work to do, so... Back to the top!
I should get a cat. 19th of February. Mr. Garrideb's room. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Carbonation. How did I do this? Oh, you pair again. I think that was pretty close. Tell me, was the detective chap, I forget his name, still hard at work down there? Oh, I think this actually works pretty well. Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Oh, yes, rings a vague bell. All that detective business is really isn't my thing, I'm afraid. Man, your Adam's apple went nuts there.
Listen, he had to taste the tobacco tea.
Yes, no, the tobacco chi. I believe that. Coming soon to a cultivation novel near you.
There's probably a good self-parody about the tobacco industry in that somewhere.
Somewhere.
I was going to say, before that flub, I was very surprised that Susato did not add World's Greatest Detective Herlock Sholmes to that. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there.
Really good show.
Don't ask for that.
Another cup of tea, if you please, Joan.
No.
No, I think it's gonna be fun. Now then, why don't you tell me? Yep. For the umpteenth time, woman, will you watch what you bolly well doing?
I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir.
Yes, of course.
What time is it when we got into this room?
I don't think it actually said. I think it just said 19th of February.
Yeah. Is it dinner time already? Actually, technically, they might mean dinner as in luncheon, because you can also refer to the evening meal as supper.
True. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall ask you how to take your leave, if you be so kind. Ah, the maid was kicking us out! Sus! Oh, yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with the young foreigners like yourself. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you can see yourselves out.
He does work with the king. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb is hiding something. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging.
Wait. Go over. Go over. Hit that. Yep.
I'm sorry?
I saw his fucking butt. I saw his fucking butt pack in the corner of the eye before the arrow came up.
Yeah,
see, because
the arrow pops up. Before the arrow pops up, you can see it.
Yeah,
I think they also wanted us an opportunity if we just did the dialogue to let us look around the room again. But no, I think we're gonna have to jump to this one.
Ah, damn it!
What's he doing over there?
Mr. Sholmes?
Ha! We meet again, my dear fellows.
Good gracious! When did you sneak in here?
Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service.
Whoosh.
Whatever were you doing over by the window? I am giving to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madame. Yet, sadly, cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So to the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space up by the window there.
Well,
Keeping an eye to one's windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering.
who knows what nefarious things are going down out there?
Ah, and one more thing, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, me? Yes, do you see any other Naruhodos here? Anyway, I thought you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind.
Oh, I'm excited.
I thought he was going to say the other line.
I'm slightly excited.
Ugh. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon. It's been like 40 days.
Do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
There's a mighty secret in this modest room. You could tell because there was red text there. My eyes see even the most trivial of trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruhodo? I think so. There is just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let's conclude the matter before dark. Yes, so it is apparently dusk. All right,
Now,
let's go.
are we gonna get this on the first try, or is it gonna be one where he does it wrong and then we have to fix it again?
I'm going to guess because it is Herlock Sholmes, he is absolutely going to fuck it up.
Okay.
Mr. Garadeb, your pipe sucks. Now it would seem you are a military man of considerably distinguished service. Your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first rate.
Mm.
I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements.
Beg your... I lost it. I beg your pardon?
Yes, the first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care.
Eh?
Oh, no, okay, it's a looped animation. I was going to say single sweat drop. And the second is that as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you.
Oh! Mr. Naruhodo, look!
The old man's broken out in a cold sweat. Unbelievably, it seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on?
How could you possibly?
How could I possibly know, you mean to inquire?
Yes.
The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. I'm Herlock fucking Sholmes. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. And I know all too well that wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Let's go. The game is afoot. The nature of the beast. Yeah, so we'll just let this play out, and we'll read it when we have to correct them all.
Yeah.
We get to enjoy his poses first. It is true. Everything in this room is fucked.
Yeah, I was wondering about the broken crockery.
Okay, so he looks to the mantelpiece.
Mm-hmm.
God, I love the poses.
He does not have a fucking line in here.
No, yeah, no, it did the question mark thing. Yes, we were correct. Sholmes is indeed fucking it up the first try. The mighty lion, the king of beasts.
I can't. I fucking can't. Piffle.
Piffle, he says.
India? Wait, are there lions in India?
No. I don't think there's ever been lions in India. It's tigers. Technically, there were at one point European lions. They have been extinct, I think, since before we had writing. But yeah, no, I don't think there were Indian lions, which also once again means that Sholmes is full of it.
Well, not entirely. I'm looking it up. There is something called the Asiatic lion.
Okay.
It is a endangered species now.
Interesting. What's its range?
I'm looking that up right now.
Because obviously, you know, there's two primary breeds of tigers: Bengal tigers, which are named for the Bengali area, and Siberian tigers, who are not
See,
confined just to Siberia.
distribution.
Whoa, hold on. I just saw something interesting when I did that animation. Mr. Man's got a mark on the other side of his face we can't see.
Oh, I missed it. Fuck. I was doing research.
Yeah. I didn't realize he was going to show me something when he reacted.
Let's see here. The Asiatic line used to occur in Arabia, Palestine, Mesopotamia, and Baluchistan, in South Caucasia.
The Caucasus Mountains. So it doesn't sound like that was across the Indus River.
No.
That's closer, but still, specifically shipped from India sounds like Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, wait, no, here it is. In India, the Asiatic line occurred in Sindh, Balawa, Punjab, Ghana. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Once rain.
Well, I guess
But
if they're still
if I'm reading this rightly, it got fucking hunted to oof.
Yeah, I know, most assuredly. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that probably still means that it wouldn't be possible to import one from India in this time period.
Yeah, heavy hunting by British colonial officers and Indian rulers caused a steady and marked decline of the main country. Lions were exterminated in Palamal by 1814, and Baroda Harnian by the 1830s, 1840s.
All right, yeah, that's.
And in the 1850s, a British officer shot 300 lions. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, they're not.
No.
Didn't line up at all.
No.
Anyway, shit's smashed. Shit's
Sorry,
fucked, Mr. President.
I like learning the new little things.
Where could this lion be? Madam. Are you a lion?
Is it under your petticoats? That might be something interesting.
That might be interesting.
Is there a circus?
Oh, there's a circus handbill.
Cool.
He got rid of the lion at Batty's Circus, allegedly.
All right, so it looks like there's 2 points.
All right, sure.
I don't think any lion has ever jubilantly pounced. Hey, rampage the Asiatic lion. They actually called it.
Yeah, at least they call it Asiatic there. All right, aftermath. What bullshit now?
He's just fucking done. Oh no, that's a stress. Well, actually, I guess it could be stress either way. It's like this motherfucking fool.
Your head weighs heavy on your shoulder. Pain in his supporting arm? No, I don't think so.
It's probably his. Oh, he has an old wound that aches. Oh, he probably got that wound and lost something important at that time. Oh, now I can see it.
Yeah, no, he's got a little bit of a marky-do on the other side of his face.
It looks like it might be a burn scar.
What's the true cause of this pain? Everybody freaks out. Well, that's interesting to find out, Sholmes. The bills are coming due. Damn, guys, you got a big grocery bill. Also, I like that he put on the goggles. I wonder if Holmes is just saying this shit because he hopes that these people had a lion and sold it to the circus. Like, it's not necessarily true. He's just guessing to see if it is. And if he's like, yes, knew there was a lion. Called it.
First try.
He's leaving the goggles on. What a nerd. Yeah. Nope, that's definitely something we noticed. That's definitely a burn mark now. With the
I don't know
candle
if that's
right
a
there.
burn. Well, true. Yeah, I guess it is a burn mark. I would imagine that the edges would be more black.
Caused a destructive outburst.
Oh, shit.
Yep, you flinched. So if you just close your eyes, Herlock Sholmes is can't do anything. No, the Tower of Cakes is not.
It's a candelabra.
No, there's a cake tower next to it.
Ah.
But it might be the candelabra is what you're saying is the thing, because that's missing a candle, I've just realized.
Yeah.
Also, what the hell is that broken thing hanging up, like, directly behind the candelabra?
That could be a garlic bag.
I guess. I was thinking
Or
it was
some
a
sort of
clove
root bag.
garlic, but it's all, like, busted up. Maybe it is roots. They do have a lot of vegetables they're buying, allegedly.
It does. It looks like it's like I would assume it's some sort of mass root vegetable in a bag.
Oh,
Lions eat cake.
yeah, I meant to say, Sholmes, lions do not eat cake.
Oh, I hurt.
A lion ate all the cakes, so it decided to eat the carpet. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. For now, anyway. No!
No. What is the matter with you, Joan? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Garrett. I'm afraid I did not notice. I was too flummoxed.
Flabbergasted.
My deductions can be startlingly sharp, since the reason that your cup runneth over, yes. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too. Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna cry. Oh. Sorry, I'm not good at
I need
doing
someone
the
to
voice like one syllable.
cosplay this Sholmes and just go to cons and just make wildly inaccurate deductions everywhere.
Just keep snapping your fingers and doing the the hat flick.
Yeah. I think it'd be a very good cosplay.
Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Just a small one? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruhodo. What is it? Again? Well, your deductions just now, they suck. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside a room this size? I mean, maybe if they didn't have the cannon, but you can't have a cannon and a lion. It's just not good feng shui. Yes, this indeed is the only explanation for the facts. The only explanation. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. Yes. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well?
But if an uncaged lion had run amok in this very room, surely Mr. Garrideb and his maid would have been hurt, or worse.
Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt the former military man held his own against the beast by using that large cannon. I thought you said they sold the lion to the circus.
And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I've ever heard of a lion that drinks tea.
That is true, they have a big tea mill. Ah, I just, Mr. Sato. It occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands on Great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea.
Clearly, that's why we threw it all into the harbor, because we had finally left our soldier and the tea curse was broken.
Yes.
Oh, what a glorious notion.
Meanwhile, I feel like just across the ocean, you just hear angry Yankee noises. Yankee doodles angrily.
God, that reminds me. I was re-listening to Ravenous earlier, and at one point, the old English peasant Digby Graves is finding out about the Revolutionary War, and he's just all like, so a bunch of religious zealots sail over in like 3 ships, and decide they don't like the British, and decide to revolt. And the character's like, yes. Then he just pauses and go, so why did they throw the tea into the harbor? And I'm just like, honestly, actually, that is a good question. Why did we throw the actual tea?
Well, it's because that was no taxation without representation. After the French Indian War, Britain was really broke, so they charged the colonies a shitload of taxes because we were a lot of free labor. It was on things like stamps, ink, sugar, tea, etc., to drive their revenues up. So, as a giant protest, we were like, "Oh, you want us to pay taxes on this tea, huh? Fuck you."
There is no tea. It never arrived. It's at the bottom of the ocean.
Fuck you. We're throwing the tea in the harbor. Who's gonna drink the tea now? Who's gonna pay for the tea, huh? Huh, nerds?
Yeah, I'm just wondering why they decided to actually throw it in the harbor and not just be like, no, we're just gonna fucking steal it. Fuck you.
They were seized by soon-to-be patriotic impulse.
I suppose. It's like, I'm getting a feeling of red, white, and blue. I don't know why.
I don't think we read
Also,
this one.
yes, Oh, sorry. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's your turn to shine again. And yes, I know why they threw the tea in the harbor. I'm just figuring out why they decided on that exact action.
Yeah, exactly the tea. The throw in the ocean, I don't know. I would have to research the raid a little bit. It's been a couple of years since I covered my Revolutionary War history. As you know, they hit the highlights of that pretty hard on you for like every single block of your educational tenure. I had a feeling that was coming.
Hang on one second. Oh no, that was there. A slight massage. That's all Mr. Sholmes' deduction need. You can do it. Oh, Mr. Dennis Cordell says it was the most taxed item and worth the most. I can believe that.
Seems about right. Sorry, hold on. Sorry, I just had a spicy little burp. I had to drink some water. Excellent. I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. That's why I made all this shit up about the lion. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsume's case. I suspect it's going to help, because otherwise we're wasting a lot of time gameplay-wise. There are occasionally red herrings in these games. Usually it's like once you're at court and you can, like, disprove them.
Or just a random snake.
Yes, true. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, that's what I want to believe.
Don't lie to yourself, Naruhodo-san. You just want to snap your finger and twirl around a little bit.
Let us start again from the beginning. Of Herlock Sholmes, logic and reasoning spectacular. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Right. Let's bring our A game now.
All right, now we do voices.
It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on a rampage of late within these 4 walls. Thus, we're faced with the question, what form might this beast take? Ah, for a man with the military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your furtive glance, Mr. Garrett, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that run rampant here is revealed by that lion statue. And then we guess... I really didn't see the lion coming.
No, but if you observe Mr. Garrett reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room.
It's true, he did have a little tiny baby freakout. Yes, something with a very fierce nature.
But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India.
So, what was it then?
We must follow Mr. Garadib's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer.
All right, so I don't have a
Oh,
lot of.
right there.
Oh,
That picture.
ah ha ha! All right, let's examine this first to make sure. Hmm.
Wait a minute.
What's this photograph?
Wait a fucking minute. It appears to be from Mr. Garadib's wedding.
Also,
She's
by the
not
way, by the way, in chat, holy shit! Apparently, with inflation, no X. Do you not understand how wedding photos work? Anyway, Mr. Dennis Cordell said that apparently with inflation, the tea that we dumped in the harbor was worth $1.7 million in today's money.
Wow.
That's a lot of tea.
That's a lot of tea.
Now you understand why we did it.
He looks very happy, doesn't it?
He does, but you can't make out his bride. Somebody has punched the picture.
I think I'm pretty fucking sure. No, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face.
I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve too deeply there. Okay, so back it up. Yeah, that didn't change anything, but still.
Wait, can't you, like, go...
Take that! Oh, no. Okay, that did not work.
No, I think you need to go actually into the photo and select it, like, with the earlier one when you had to actually select the cat.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm employing an extremely advanced deduction technique called jumping to conclusions, you see. Mr. Naruhodo, the fuck? I thought I'd just make some shit up. This is my show. Get the fuck out. Look at that smug prick. Okay, yes.
But yeah, no, it's like we actually have to be in
All right.
in the photo.
Okay, let's
Well,
frame
what
it.
do we know with some certainty is that a destructive creature has been... Oh, we already got this part.
Yeah, scared. I've inadvertently looked at the direction of something that gives us its identity away. So if we investigate thoroughly enough, we ought to find the answer. Well, let's actually... Hold on. Let us double check. Is there anything? So there's the shells. That's probably not it, because if the mortar shells went off, the room would be fucked.
No, I'm pretty fucking sure
Yeah,
it's the photograph.
yeah,
It's
I
like
don't- there's
right
literally
behind the
nothing
damn
else,
thing.
so- Okay, so... Zoom in.
Enhance. And then I'm assuming go right over the fucking broken bit is probably
Yes,
the bit.
okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Newlywed bride. Smash!
The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Precisely, Mr. Naruhodo. No other explanation could possibly fit. Never mind all the shit I said about the lion. Whoosh. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garadeb. I mean, your wife, Mrs. Garadeb, Mr. Garadeb. Anyway. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. She lifts. Did you capture Inosuke's little there?
I did, and I was looking at chat. God damn it!
Yeah, when Holmes did the blackout, Inosuke went wah in the back.
Oh,
Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching the point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged this room, was your wife, Mr. Garadeb. I mean, your wife, Mrs. Garadeb, Mr. Garadeb.
Ah! Oh, it's a handprint.
Mm-hmm. Yes. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well, I don't think that was a good maid. I'm not good at doing the maid voice with only one word. Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam. What were you going to say before I advance?
Oh, no, Axe is just talking about, the maid hasn't said her name yet. I mean, Garradeb calls her Joan. True. We have no surname, though. Mm-hmm. So she has been named. But it's very sus.
Yeah.
And if they want to pretend like they're upper class, maybe having your wife pretend to be your maid might be it.
I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. It is. Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts.
Poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside us. I don't think so. I think this woman is a fucking, domestic violence.
Well, I don't know about fragile. Then again, Susato has thrown us to the floor like 5 times, so maybe she's not the best judge of character.
I'm trying to figure out why this woman just slapped the shit out of her man, though.
I think it's because he's making her pretend to be a maid.
Maybe. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garradeb anywhere.
But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garradeb's wife could be. Okay, maid.
Can we just click maid?
Teapot. I mean, we can, but...
Oh,
also,
there it is.
I'm about to say, ring. I don't think we even need to focus on this. Ring!
That's a big-ass ring.
Wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Also, it's a little son. And Mr.
I wonder if that ring was in
the...
Oh, sun and moon. I wonder if that wedding ring was in the photo.
It might have. Yeah, oh, yeah, actually, yeah, I think it was, because there was something sun-shaped. I didn't realize it was a ring at the time, but there was definitely something that looked like this now that I think about it.
Sick.
Ah! Watcha! Indeed it does! That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives it away! There it is.
Yep, there it is.
For it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garradeb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. You are Mega Maid. No. You are Mr. Garradeb's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garradeb herself, Jacques. Oh my word!
Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmised, this is the wife, yes, my Joan. Rather let herself go, you might say. But she was a ballycock. Ah!
It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. Also, seriously, I'm a detective, and even I knew that shit was a bad idea. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms.
I don't know if that came across on mic.
I don't think it carried, but we got it. I assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct?
It's not right, it's not right, I tell you.
Not right.
I was second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. Oh, sorry. A man has his pride. Don't you know?
Just say sorry to me. I was stepping on your line with another Doug Dimmadome joke.
By golly, it's a sore thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ.
Yeah, well, I bet your pension benefits suck. Though, roll that back to me. Were you 2nd lieutenant? And this would have been the era when you actually could have gone from, like, non-commissioned officer to commissioned very easily.
Oh, yeah, field promotions were a fucking thing. But also, I remember his medal literally being just like a participation medal. I don't think he was actually that distinguished.
Well, yeah, I think he just took a bullet to the knee or whatever, and they gave him an honorable discharge and a shiny medal. The whatever the historical British equivalent to a Purple Heart would be, and sent him on his way. He didn't really I don't think he really had a long time to make his career very distinguished, sadly. He got to keep his mortar, though. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearance are a folly. Do you mean Mr. Garadeb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garadeb? Tell me I'm right. I know I'm right, right?
Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret. Please!
Shit, he said tip-top.
Do you actually participate in high society? You can't leave.
Well, he doesn't when company is over, though. Anyway, now we gotta figure out what the fuck happened to the carpet.
Pretend.
Oh, second lieutenant? That's literally the first rank.
Well, it depends in the British. I don't know if the British military has the same ranks.
Yeah, no, their rank structure. I believe traditionally their rank structure usually starts at second lieutenant, because then you go to first lieutenant. Or is it the other way around? No, I think it's second and first.
I just remember our O1's always just ensign, so...
Yeah, no, the Navy, which I believe also is the same way in the British system, is easier. You just have one guy, and then you go to lieutenant. Which is...
No, but either way, first or second lieutenant is usually O1 or O2, which is literally the bottom of the barrel of officers.
Yeah. Like, they wouldn't have called it O1 at the time. That was a NATO standardization. But yeah, lieutenant is your first officer rank, whatever grade is appropriate.
And now, listen, real talk, no one likes lieutenants. No one likes lieutenants.
I mean, there's the reason why I think both the Army and the Marines have the classic story about butter bars.
Yeah.
Because your lowest level insignia as a lieutenant is a single gold bar. So the primary thing they want for officer candidacy is a college degree. So a lot of low-ranking officers are literal college kids. Whereas senior NCOs will have been in the service a little bit.
Yep, an NCO in motion is a higher rank than a lieutenant standing still.
Correct. Now, Mr. Garadeb, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast.
Yeah, he's holding that slap.
Ah, indeed, in that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. I feel like my accent's drifting slightly. Yes, your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garadeb's wife a beast, even though she's standing right there.
Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable.
But Mrs. Garadeb is standing beside her husband as we speak. Her husband. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he?
Oh, how true. So perhaps that supporting arm seems to be propping up his head. Has some other significance then.
According to Mr.
Son is graduating, no.
Yeah, that news came out a little while before we started. Mr. Garadeb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? Ooh, hold on, I got it. There it is. Gee, is it his slapped cheek?
Yeah, it is.
I think I'm just gonna go right away for the cheek. Take that! Wacha! Look at this smug motherfucker. Your head weighs heavily on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. Damn, that is a slapped cheek. Yeah, and of course, the deliverer of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade was you, Madam Joan Garadeb. Yes. Well, yes. You have been desperate to hide that slap mark on your cheek, sir. Bark, he says.
What the blazes? How did you work that out, man?
I mean, it's the 2D plane of your face. Like, if I move around the room, I can see it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just assuming. Like, how would you get around to see it?
Nothing escapes one trained in the arts of observation, my dear fellow.
Actually, it's true now that you think about it. Usually people turn their head to talk to people. He actually never did. That's actually very strange.
Yeah. That's why you haven't looked
Oh,
directly at us, even once.
Yeah, he just calls it out. God damn it.
To keep your other side from view.
Well,
Also, no, she didn't slap him from behind. That's pretty sure that's her lefty side.
Actually, no, he's right. That's palm back.
Maybe it was more of a palm strike than a slap?
Maybe.
Like a palm jab?
Maybe, no, because they're right. If it actually hit him from the front, the hand would be turned in the opposite direction. The palm would be to the front.
I see. The thumb, at least it looks like the thumb is on the bottom.
Yeah.
It is definitely possible to make that mark. I mean, she does kind of like, that direction slap her own cheek with her other hand, but we'll see. I'm sure we'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah.
Now, let's proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? What? In other words, we must ask ourselves, what caused Madame Garadeb to fly into a rage? We need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. What ho? The bills! Yes, it is the pile of bills which has given rise to the pain you suffer.
I do feel like that Mr. Garrett might be buying stuff that he shouldn't be when they're fucking trying to save money, and his wife is just like, you motherfucker. Did Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder?
Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garadeb's wife.
Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing. I mean,
Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face, so, let's not support victims, Susato-san. One so hard it left a perfect hand mark, in fact, which, by the way, takes some effort.
Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? Probably because he's dumb with money.
I'd love to know the answer to that question.
I'm assuming dumb with money.
Okay, so there's bills,
Oh, what's that?
bookmark. What is this bookmark? I see.
Oh, infidelity. That's worse than poor financial decisions.
Drama.
Oh, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here. Look. Mr. Garadeb is clearly an avid reader.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I don't think this is a bookmark.
Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary.
Now, our man is not named James. John and James are not the same. But, and look next to the signature here.
Lip marks made with lipstick.
I should hope so. I would hate to think somebody free drew the lip marks.
Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture.
Don't get any ideas, Susato-san.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
So this bookmark is actually a love note then. Well, I'm pretty sure it's that.
Yep.
Make sure there's nothing else around. No, I can't move back. Okay. Yeah, so there's stacks of books, but I bet it's not that. So let's go with the note. Take that! Pachow!
I wonder. Do you think... I'm pretty sure it was Mrs. Garrideb that ran into fucking... Natsume-san below. And he said he dropped his book. What if in the moment she tried to get away, she took the wrong book?
Maybe. We'll see. Yes! It is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Yes, passionate indeed. Yes.
Oh, violence! It's about to fucking happen.
Perhaps the sender of this note to certain Miss Mary is the fly in the ointment here. Yes. Holy shit!
Jesus! I don't know the ballet woman.
You don't know her?
That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there.
It was just in there, you say?
That's right. That's why I've been... God, okay.
A likely story.
Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at that second-hand place, and the notes must have already been in there.
A second-hand place.
So the Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's a Rito line. I was just pausing because I'm waiting to see if I'm gonna get interrupted. So the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark. You mean?
That's right. That's why I've been. Oh, I'm getting slightly mad at this woman who's just
a likely story. She's gotta do it again. Rule of 3.
For heaven's sakes, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name, in case you haven't forgotten, is
A likely story.
What? Are you questioning my name now? Holy shit.
And there we have it. Now, unfortunately, Mr. Garrideb cannot prosecute because he would be horrifically embarrassed in this current day and age, but, yeah, he's getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yes, man up, bitch.
Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, you shall unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite.
I'll have no fury like a woman scorned. Ugh.
Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? Also, why are we still calling me maid? My name is Joan Garrideb. Yes.
I have other such savory words to use for you, but I shall not mention them in polite company.
The aftermath, which can be clearly, the aftermath of which can clearly be seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, there's a burnt book over there.
There's a burnt book back there, yeah. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructive outburst? Ah! This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Herlock Sholmes, yes. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we only need to look at the Tower of Creeks.
But surely Mrs. Garrideb didn't eat the carpet.
No, of course not. I think. Well, there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray this room is in is the result of her wild temper.
No, that's true. Nah, Axe, you got to remember, this is pre 2010s. Men don't get hurt by women. It just doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone says.
Yeah, no. Like if you're a wife beater, that's a you know, probably socially frowned upon, but is maybe part of the unfortunate system. If your wife somehow beats you, well, you're just a pansy and you need to suck it up. All right.
So, this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. We only need to follow Mrs. Garrett's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's the candelabra that Lucky pointed out earlier.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah!
All right, let's see what we can see. Now, the circus handbill is right here, so we could absolutely do that for a funny, but let's examine the candlestick to make sure we're on mark.
This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it?
The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. Looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over.
Oh dear, that would be dangerous.
Wait, take a closer look at this. A closer look? It's right there. There's a candle missing. I don't think we needed to zoom in for that, Ryunosuke.
Listen, we need to enhance. Yes, I didn't notice that before.
Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the three missing from its holder? Now we can't.
Oh wait, can you actually highlight the candle down there?
We can look at the carpet. The carpet here has been ripped to shreds.
Yes, and according to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, the tears match those that have an Indian lion's teeth exactly. I very seriously doubt that.
Oh, look here.
What is it?
If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks.
Hey! Oh yeah, so you can. In that case, perhaps the carton wasn't eaten in the normal sense of the word at all.
Let's rethink this with that in mind.
Okay, so that wasn't necessarily wrong.
That's not the correct choice, I think, for the present, but that still gives us clarity. So,
yeah, no,
fire did it, and the candle is down there, so I think we can safely say the candlestick. Wacha! Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. It was Miss Plum in the dining room with the candlestick.
I have never played Clue in my life, by the way.
It's an interesting game, but if you're playing against people who are good at it, it's kind of weird because they'll figure out the logic. There's only so many options to go through. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a ferocious attack in which the carpet was destroyed are clearly visible. Indeed they are. And the scorch marks at the edge clearly give the truth away.
Scorch marks?
No, Axe. Remember, all the shit is smashed. I'm pretty sure she was, raging around the room, throwing, smashing things, stomping. It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation, shall we say.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna assume that after they had the fucking run-in,
Miss Garrett's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of her strike caused a candle to fall from the holder through some kind of sonic boom or something. And in seconds, the carpet was alight, the whole corner of the room in flames.
actually, honestly, if she did hit him enough and rock the things, that candle base is very unsteady. It could have just fallen over.
It's true. I think he's in a rocking chair, so if she set him a vibin', it probably could have caused a tussle. A rustle.
Yes,
A rumble. A scrimbo. For the most ferocious beast in the world is neither a vengeful lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire! I just imagine a pyrotechnic behind him when he says it. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So, you see, there is but one conclusion here. The team-up. After the sparks of marital discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. I love the
Mr.
little...
God damn it.
He's going down!
down!
Man down! Oh, she caught him. Deduction complete. Elementary, everybody.
It's these long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand books shop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there.
Mm-hmm. It's around the corner, you say.
I'm pretty sure he sends his wife to go buy books.
And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material?
For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems.
No, he struggles to stand because he took a fucking bullet to the knee, guys. He actually has an old war wound, as they say.
Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And Beast is mostly certainly after. Ah!
Here we go again. And the carpet, was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell to the floor?
Right to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing.
Took me back to my flashbacks to and if got stunned, don't you know?
Yes. I could smell the motor smoke. I was caught between the old Styx rage and the raging flames. Oh man, that was a horrible, horrible time.
You paint a torrid picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining.
Sir.
I shall have to remember to spy through your window tomorrow night with my goggles, just in case. I had sympathy for you.
Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide that mess behind the screen for the time being.
Aha! I knew the screen was weird.
Over here, Mr. Garadeb. Oh, pull it back and let us get some clues.
Well, you have nothing more to hide now, if you'll allow me. This would have actually been a window overlooking the crime scene, I think. Ugh.
Wow.
Zam.
Had all my favorite old novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh, up in smoke.
Gosh. Golly. Gee willikers.
Then the wife started hurling things at me. What a terrible sight it must have been. There I was, back up against the window, under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. Oh
Okay.
God, she was throwing flaming books. Jesus.
Yeah, she was pulling books off the bookshelf and throwing them out the window.
He says back up against the window.
Well, their window is still intact, so
True.
if it was closed, it would be blown out, because there's no fucking way. With all those bills, they would have repaired it in, like...
True.
Actually, we don't know
Maybe
what the time frame is on this. It must have been recent, but we don't know. I
I'm
feel
pretty
like it's got to have been the night when the thing happened, just because...
Oh, totally.
Otherwise, this isn't a relevant conversation. But we don't actually know that yet. Maybe he'll say that in a second.
Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
Sholmes, if you talk about... God damn it. Ah, the Lion's Pride. Oh, yes. Your notorious love of big cats coming through again. Aha, told it.
He might actually like lions. No, I think it did. I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest.
So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be the correct. Once again.
It can only be described as a great British wonder.
Like their economy. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere and the old stick in the full fettle.
Out of interest, what time of day was this?
Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now.
Aha!
Let's see, around 5 o'clock, I think.
Aha! Because Natsume has a receipt that he was coming. He bought his books at 4:45, I think. Actually, we can check right now. Court record. Yep.
4:45 p.m.
17th of February. So this would have been around the time of the incident.
So exactly at the same time, as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your windows on the street below.
So, are we sure this chick was actually stabbed and she wasn't, bludgeoned half to death with flaming books?
The window would have to have been open by that. And also, where did that knife come from? Did she throw a knife out the window?
That is actually true. We have to figure out that point. There's still a couple of inconsistencies, but we're getting closer. Something was going on.
Yeah. Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at the moment. Now I wouldn't have noticed the dashed thing.
Okay, so they have a perfect reasonable excuse why they didn't see shit or hear anything. Because there was a house fire and a couple's spat.
Oh, really?
Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. What can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garrett-Epps' situation now. But what does it have to do with Mr. Natsume's circumstances?
I mean, Sholmes did straight out say we don't know if this would actually fucking help.
Can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset.
You did.
I warned you that although I knew the retired army man was hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove of relevance or not.
I still think it is.
I just knew you were going to say that. I'm just waiting for him to open the fucking window and fly out like Mary Poppins.
Because if books were being thrown out, someone would have to go and retrieve them.
Yeah, and actually, have they shown us a
And if
picture of the crime? Wasn't there some books around her?
There were some books, and I will remind you that the victim did look a bit beastly.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. I still don't understand where the knife came from, though. That's the thing that's...
Yeah, we don't know nothing about the
throwing
knife.
me off. That's what's throwing me off right now.
Maybe
Look, he has a theory?
Maybe we can get a medical report or something.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into only one of two categories. Those relevant to the case and those not. That makes no sense.
It's the highest philosophy.
No matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. I'm sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Oh no, is that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsume's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
We must file paperwork? Stamps? So, that's it. No more time to think. Perhaps you'd like to betake yourselves into bidding us farewell now.
I have to beat my man.
I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrett-Ebb. Oh yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
So Seki-san will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Well, hold on. Before we do anything, can I... Well, we can examine the burn mark. What a miserable sight.
Oh dear. But at least the whole room wasn't engulfed in flames. I suppose so. But my whole collection went up in smoke, you know. All those novels I adored so much.
Well, John, whose fault is that?
Not mine, that's for sure.
Well, whoever may or may not be to blame. I'm quite sure you could buy some new old books to replace them, can't you?
New old books. Bolly nonsense.
It does sound like a contradiction in terms, but then again, these two are full of contradictions.
That's couples for you, Mr. Naruhodo. Or so I've been led to believe.
I've never been on a date in my life.
Listen, this is the 1800s. I mean, I'm pretty sure arranged marriages shit is on it. Oh, examine that window.
The window.
To the wall! This window looks out over Briar Road, where the young woman was attacked.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene.
The glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly. I wonder if that's because it has smoke damage on it.
Does this thing open at all, I wonder? I shouldn't underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, Mr. Narrow Hollow. What? As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot. No Londoner would go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you. Okay, so they're claiming they did have the window closed. Interesting.
Okay, if the books didn't go flying out, maybe that didn't happen. Interesting. Okay.
It seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything of the incident then. But she did not say that the window doesn't open. She just says that if we open the window, it will be fucking cold, so...
If I'm looking at the design correctly, it seems like it's one of the ones that open from the bottom middle, probably up. Because I believe it has a top latch on it.
Yes, it does look like it's got a top latch, so it would slide up.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like your first instinct in a fire would be to open the window and let the smoke out, so I'm not going to say they didn't open it under normal circumstances, but she's implying that they would not normally do so. But I think we've got everything there. All right. Move.
To the prison.
I do also like that Susato's got little comments like, oh, we haven't visited this place in a while. Oh, hold on. We got to go outside first.
19th February. Briar Road. Yeah, they're not giving us times.
Interesting. I guess that makes it easier for us to, like, pretend the whole day passed.
True. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, no,
Let's hail a care? Oh.
What's the matter?
Looks like something's going on over there in front of the Garrett's house.
What is happening?
I'm sorry? Shit. Okay, who wants to do this voice?
Oh man. Let me try. Let me try here.
Right, go for it.
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers.
It's pretty good.
Oh, you should probably do it.
Hold on. Let me. All right. Can I sum up my Popeye the Sailor voice? It's not very good. Hold on. Big girl. Who you calling, old man? You rum-looking ninny-penny? Niminy-penny?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamed in your philosophy.
Speaking of Billy Shake's quotes.
Hey, who's this Horatio fella, eh? What you want about, eh? I'll fight you.
Excuse me.
Eh? What the? Who are you now? Here, here. A wise guy, huh?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Susato, I've already taken a case, kind of.
A lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law.
Fine, I'll be on my way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet.
Wow.
Bang, zoom, straight to the moon.
Get thee to a nunnery!
Which, by the way, if you don't know the context of that Shakespeare quote, I think he just told Mr. Chin Man that he's got no bitches.
Well, I always interpret it more as just a get fucked.
Kind of, yeah, because it's
Yeah.
During the time period we're talking about, nunneries were very corrupt and were basically brothels.
Yeah.
Which a lot of basically anytime you run into a word and you don't know the context of it, Shakespeare is being filthy.
Yes.
Like his comedy is very bawdy.
Hey, do I look like a bloomin' nun to you? Yeah.
Ah.
Oh. Oh. Every time I just see his mouth open like this. I do hope you're not injured.
Man, I've turned on the chat filter to be slightly more aggressive, but I think it's a little too aggressive. I've had to manually approve a couple of comments from chat that aren't even that bad. Unless YouTube thinks that Axe talking about scrub was like offensive.
Really? Did it say for scrub?
Well, it was for the or get laid scrub like comment. So either get laid or scrub. YouTube was like, "Hey, are you sure you want this comment to be posted?" That's a little too aggressive. I mean, I do kind of wonder if the comments by the, freesex.xyz or whatever, a pox on their house would not count. That's why I turned it on, but it seems a little too sensitive. I might have to dial that off.
Oh, fair Easter maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you.
What was that all about?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamed in your philosophy.
You said that already. I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but... Are you a lodger here? In the Garrideb residence?
I do not think this man is noble if he lodges at the Garrideb residence. That means he's fucking poor.
Means he's fucking fake. Oh, fair Easter maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
Mr. Garrideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he? This must be the man? The theater kid?
Oh!
Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy of poemist than battle words ne'er could there be.
Sorry, battle, did you say?
Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsume and I sparred long into the night.
Did you guys have a fucking power level argument about Shakespeare? Susato, pack it up. We're letting Natsume go to the gallows. And we're gonna put this guy in prison too. I see. By which I mean, I do not see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems that Mr. Natsume and this gentleman are acquaintances at least.
They are aware of each other.
So fair maiden, so good gentleman.
I do not like how his idle animation is just, ah,
Oh, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well.
and he just fucking Mary Poppins away.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what happened to Mr. Natsume, so he can't really help us. Perhaps we're establishing for a case later with these characters. With Suseki-san and that man and his lodgers, the Garrett house is certainly full of eccentrics. Anyway, I'll go and find a carriage. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsume is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. We might have to spend another one of those gold coins I put in my pocket. Wow, that's a good transition.
19th of February, 6:31 p.m. Local prison.
I
Cell
just
9.
love it's bow tie, mustache, check.
Oh, the soldier?
Bow tie,
Bow tie?
check.
Check.
Pocket, mustache, double check.
Double check. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Welcome, student of Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched.
He's clearly touched.
Probably in a bad spot, too. Holy shit. We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsume.
Yeah, I just had to investigate your entire case here.
And then some. Oh, no. Nothing. Relax. If I were a cat, I would put with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Notable, nurturing, never failing Nipponese.
Oh, no. Let's not get carried away, man. Uh-oh. Okay.
Wait, no. Oh, I quite agree. I believe I do know who it is. There is nothing so reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand...
it was Sholmes!
No, it's Sholmes! Damn it, I thought it was Van Zykes!
He was hiding in the shadows. He was pretending.
God damn it!
Haha! Did you like my Van Zykes impression?
Oh.
It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. I mean, to be fair, he wasn't nearly crazy enough for Sholmes on those first couple lines.
I suppose.
Such is my belief, at least.
Oh, yes, it's you! This miserable, rotten spy! Mr. Herlock, he poses.
Yes,
That's his name.
the pose. Yes!
Herlock.
Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here in that corner?
I feel so embarrassed I was doing my Van Zykes voice for Sholmes.
I have no intention of doing anything, per se, save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, yeah, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, bored now, decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Also, because I didn't go grocery shopping like Iris wanted, and she's going to be very mad at me.
I might get shot again. Gloomful room?
At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, this is the superior option. You can actually see outside and breathe new air. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny.
Ah, you! How dare you! Herlock Sholmes! Had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should have never come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Hold up my spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. Spirits, you say? My whole life is bedonned! What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
I think this man needs a young priest and an old priest, not a lawyer.
And also maybe a bed warmer.
He mentioned that once before, didn't he? That his lodgings were cursed. I mean.
Oh, ghost.
And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say. For the man's lodgings, I mean. And indeed, for tomorrow's trial, yes. What is that supposed to mean? Dramatic zoom.
Converse.
Cursed trial.
I mean, it seems to be cursed because Van Zykes is there.
Sorry, bumped my mic arm. Trying to uncork my water. Mr. Natsume, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed.
Oh no! Why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous.
Hey, you said it was cursed, not me, buddy.
I was just getting carried away. That's all. I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. Shit.
You don't mean the trials really is cursed somehow?
Are you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey?
I need to just smash an organ right there. The Reaper? What do you mean?
We're better at sound stuff. I could have a soundboard and I would play the fucking start of Toccata in D minor. Box fugue.
Please, tell me, summarize this succinctly in 16 salient words.
All right, everybody at home, count those words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, he did it in 16 words.
Nice. Nice.
He's just like, wow. Oh my goodness! Can it? Can it really be true? That was 16 words exactly.
Oh my god!
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Bailey. I mean, against the Reaper. Oh no, I guess I could say against the Bailey as well. But then, after the trial was over,
He was moited.
the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded. I can almost hear him in my head. Top of the morning to ya.
Have a coin. What?
Ah, I am impressed, Mr. Sato. You have an eye for details.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us before he flew off on a flock of pigeons.
Mr. Sholmes. Actually, for that, I imagine Sholmes would be something like, ah, yes, how is old Mally? He would have some fucking weird nickname for the Chief Justice. How is Strongy? Surely it can't be that having failed to have the accused convicted, Lord Van Zykes killed the man himself?
No, he couldn't have, surely. Nah, that's not his style.
You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes. Why, of course he is. Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me?
It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis.
Again, I need to slam the organ right here.
What on earth do you mean by that?
Enhance.
No, new dialogue action. Okay. The Reaper. Yes, Van Zykes is quite an exceptional man. However, in courts of London, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's just fucking bullshit, like some made-up shit.
That's good.
Seki-san looks like he's going to cry tears of joy. He does. As you are no doubt aware, in British criminal trial, there's both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense.
I do not believe that.
It is an excellent system whereby the defendant's guilt is considered from several points of view. It's really rad. However, public opinion, in particular, is somewhat easily manipulated.
Oh, how true.
Right. Criminals and corrupt lawyers, for that matter, can use it for their advantage. Don't you know, my boy? by any means at their disposal, contriving evidence, calling imposters as witnesses, and so on and so forth. By such underhanded means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury. Which means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail.
But it means the wrong verdict can be passed.
Correct. And sadly is from time to time, my dear madam, it is simply the reality of the situation. And that's all right? No. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zykes cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed.
Oh my.
Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months, they all disappear. It is most striking.
Disappear. But how?
By all manner of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever or attacked by highwaymen.
No.
All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Mr. Naruhodo. Shit.
Haha, I knew it. I'm dead. Dodo, done for. Doomed!
And on that lovely note. Now, when you said accursed lodgings before, were you referring to your room at the Garrideb? You were referring to your room at the Garrideb house, I presume? I assume? Do you mean to say you believe the place is cursed?
It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. I'd only been in a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself.
That didn't take long then.
Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started to become nervous about going outside. They're always staring at me all the time, from dusk till dawn. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away. You must have been very lonely having been away from your homeland for such a long time. I had to move a number of times. Most recently, I had to go to that room on Briar Road a week ago now.
Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient.
The rent is cheap. I have so little money, and it appealed to me straight away.
Yep, that sounds like rent. It was cheap. Why, yes, this is a shipping container, but the rent, chef's kiss.
Of course, I asked her why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him. If you have something to say, then say it. But if not, don't mention it in the first place.
Yes, well said.
But it was true. It was true.
Funny, he didn't mention anything about being cursed earlier. You mean the room really is cursed then?
Ever since I moved into that Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I feel awake as though I'm being choked to death. He has a gas lamp in a fucking windowless room.
Yeah, I think that's just poor ventilation, my dude.
Yeah. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street.
Now, admittedly, that's only happened like once, maybe twice.
I'm branded a killer, thrown into prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. Actually, in his last lodging, Natsume actually did make good friends with a pair of sisters who he rented his last room from.
Oh, neat.
But otherwise, no. His life here was a complete shit show.
Well, yeah, it sounds like I believe the stuff he talked about, like people's faces and the anxiety, that was real. He did actually develop
No.
like an anxiety disorder in
Oh,
London.
Yeah, no, he was super depressed and lonely. If only there was someone, just one person on my side. Up here he
Shady's
comes.
saying if there was only one.
Can no one find it in his heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all.
To believe. Yes. To believe.
Shinjeru.
Naruhodo. It's me, the ghost of Kazuma, speaking to you from the sword. You have to believe. Also, cut something with me. Mr. Sholmes. Ah, me, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about the case on the SS Burya. If you recall. The Burya. Ah, that case. The one with the snake. He phrased it as a question, but I knew he was going to say it. Well, yeah, there was technically a snake. Anyway, at that time, I was the suspect. But you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. Well, yes, kind of. And you helped us to investigate. I did I? Interesting. Yes, very interesting. Not what I told my biographer. What I want to know is why. Why did you believe me? I see. Yes, you mean because you a grimly dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room. Yes. If you want to say it like that, yeah. I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explanation, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said, I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. Yes. I think perhaps you've misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor that what you were telling me. What? You see, the only things I believe in are those I choose to believe in.
What? I was pretty sure I was about to get the fuck after that, but sure. What do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
I make up my own mind about what is to be believed, and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I am concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion. Meaning? Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. Yes. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right. He's right. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Whether or not I can believe myself. Flashback, back. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. Yes. You were so right, Kazuma. Okay, good. We did all the dialogue options. Okay.
Cool.
Now, my dear fellows, it is time we were leaving, I believe.
Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out. There's a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join me? Damn, Soseki wants the trout.
I mean, he is a Japanese man. Meat is a luxury. They're all about that. They're fish and vegetables. Oh dear, there's never enough time, is there?
I feel like we're building up slightly. Mr. Natsume. If you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. I'm on the case. Again, for realsies.
Welcome, student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. The jams.
Something crucial.
What
Sorry,
to
I was turning
believe
at my
in.
own TV.
The defendant, justice, or the truth. How to believe, even. But I think I've finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court.
Look who's to Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me, up to and including my literal sword. If I have to shank a juror, I will. So, I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. I'm just imagining Ryunosuke does a big bow when he does that.
Oh, you cleared up. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who will listen to me in my native tongue.
Of course, Mr. Natsume. It would be fair to say, Mr. Naruhodo, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it. Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey. To be continued. But I got there in the end. Even in the flashback, he has to get it poured on his knee. Miss Susato.
Yes.
Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
All right. We have a lawyer, we have an assistant, we have a weird detective. Now we have a client. Let's go! The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believes in me now, too. Kind of, maybe, I think.
Listen, Sholmes got something. Sholmes has fucking electrons firing into his brain, but I'm not sure entirely where they're connected.
Neuron activate! So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself.
I'm sorry, I'm just saying Sholmes sees a case. Neurons activate.
That's basically what it is. I mean, he literally told us he divides everything in his life into case facts, not case facts. Shopping, not a case. Unless, maybe that's how Iris gets him to shop. Hurley, I need you to go buy groceries. It's a mystery. Where did our groceries go? I'm on the case. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster, I will do the thing. And now we get a to be continued, which I will take that opportunity to, go fill up my water, because we've only been going for about a couple hours, so. Let's get in the courtroom and see what bullshit Van Zykes has for us.
All right, well, let's insert an ad.
Yes. Save progress. Push button. I will overwrite the save. And let's insert an ad. After these messages, we'll be right back. All right, ad successfully inserted. I'm going to go away for a second, fill my bottle of water. correct position again. Let's see how explodey Twitter is, y'all.
And Lucky is back.
Alrighty. Well, we're going back. So, we've switched back. Let's hit OK. Back on out of here.
February, excuse me. 9:23 a.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
Now we got dates, y'all. Well, I never expected this. Who'd have thought we'd be back here again so soon?
We are on a study tour of Great Britain with the intention of learning the country's legal practices. In order to research the latest court procedures here, we need as much court experience as possible.
Well, yes, I suppose that's true, but, you know. For the person in the dock, it may well be his or her one and only time in court, and it could be life-changing. In which case, treating it as research may seem a little crass.
When you put it like that, you're quite right.
Good morning.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
Ah, Mr. Natsume. Good morning. Ohio.
Ohio gozaimasu. Oh dear, are you alright? Your eyes are terribly bloodshot. I do think they actually have more of a red tinge to them. The alibi catches the worm, as they say here in Britain.
Yes, I've heard that expression.
I really don't want to catch a worm. So I tried desperately not to wake up early, but I was so worried I couldn't catch a wink. And now I'm absolutely exhausted as a result.
Luckily, Mr. Natsume, the English, along with many other countries, have discovered the perfect solution of this. Bailiff! Coffee? Do all literary people take things so literally?
Thank you for putting your faith in us today, Mr. Natsume. Ah. I wish I had 9 lives. My whole future hangs in the balance. I'm
9 lives, unlimited blade works? What?
too terrified to tremble. I mean, you're pretty.
But you're
trembling
trembling.
pretty.
Really? Because I can feel the tremors on the floor.
I can't do this. I can't take it. Although, look, I'm still Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
Yes?
I caught a glimpse of the public gallery as I walked by the courtroom. It looked like the opening night of the opera. There were so many people.
Really? For this case?
I mean, it's a Van Zyke's case. I'm assuming it's popular.
True, it's just only a second case back from an extended vacay.
No idea my case was a notorious affair here in London.
Oh, neither did I. Do you know why that might be, Miss Susato?
I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo, but I have no idea. Mind empty.
So that all-knowing look on your face is just coincidence then, is it?
Oh, is Mr. Sholmes in the gallery? Don't hide the truth from me. It's. He's about to say something negative. Oh, actually. No, that's pretty spot on, actually. It's because of the Reaper, isn't it?
Lord Van Zykes? Metal Gear?
Bleh.
Is that right, Miss Susato?
I purchased as many different newspapers as I could this morning, and yes. Wait.
No, our stipend?
Wait, no, that's our sleeping and food money.
Susato, Mr. Natsume definitely can't pay us. We are absolutely doing this pro bono.
Lord Van Zykes is on the front page of everyone.
It is because it's a Van Zykes case. Zam.
I mean, if it was on the front page, you probably could have just stole a peek.
I knew it.
Sometimes after the prosecutor was dubbed the Reaper of the Bailey, he stopped appearing in court, it seems. It's been several years now, in fact, until the day before yesterday. Oh, so the Reaper of the Bailey was a late term.
Yes, Inspector Gregson told us something similar, didn't he? Flashback, back. The trial 2 days ago marked... Actually, if this is Gregson's flashback, it's... The trial 2 days ago marked Lord Van Zykes' return to courtroom after a very long hiatus.
Bleh.
The trial of Magnus McGilded. Ugh, what a harrowing experience that was. I think we just had a flashback inside a flashback, technically.
Yeah. I believe that appearance made even greater waves here in the capital than today.
But we wouldn't have realized it, of course, only having only just arrived in the country.
Why is the Reaper back in the Bailey so soon for what appears to be a mundane murder?
Hey, whoa, hold on. We need to call the Times and print a correction. It was not a murder. This lady is not dead yet.
Media manipulation. What was the word? Sensationalism. That's the question the papers are asking, and they're all speculating various answers.
Also, yes, clickbait is that old.
Mundane! Mundane is the most significant saga of the century to some of us! Oh dear, I meant no offense, Mr. Natsume, but that's how the papers are describing it. Well, as we also forget the fact that it could spark an international incident. Obviously, the reappearance of this infamous prosecutor has caught people's attention. But there's another blatant similarity with the trial of 2 days ago. Yes, I agree.
You two pivot to me at the same time.
Mr. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. It's you.
You did pivot to me at the same time. Damn you. Me? Well, I suppose that's true.
About time, it is you who stands against this legendary prosecutor. It can only mean that you're friends with the Reaper! Son of a bitch.
Please, I don't rub shoulders with Deathbringers.
With wine tossers?
Monster
Boot
demon
dumpers?
devils.
I'm afraid there is really only one other explanation. People think it's interesting.
True.
It can only be another example, Mr. Naruhodo, of your uncommon bad luck.
Thanks for that.
Oh, this is just my luck. One must be represented by a man with such fail fortune, says the man with the maneki. But at least, lucky lawyer alive. Okay, now I want to slap this man.
Well, let's not forget that it was you, Mr. Natsume, who asked me to represent you.
Oh.
Yes, it's true that I'm just a student. I'm new to London, with little in the way of experience or skills, or luck. But I promise you this. I will fight your corner until the bitter end. It feels like we need a particle there. And I will believe in you, Mr. Natsume.
Oh, benevolent locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. You're not alone here with us, Mr. Natsume. Whatever happens, we will always be on your side. Oh, benevolent non-locum assistant, Miss Mikitoba Esquires.
I don't even think some of those are words.
I am in your debt forever. I shall never forget this great kindness as long as I live. Mr. Natsume, counsel for the defense. The court session is about to begin. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once.
Woo! Hey, chat, you doing all right since the commercial break? I noticed the numbers have been falling a little bit droopy.
They always do that anytime we take a break. People
It's
just
true. They
And
actually
the minute
also,
we take a break-
we tell them to take a break and they go away and then they come back. All right then, Mr. Natsume, it's time. Let's go.
Yes.
No, that's my thing. I say yes. This is
Hi.
it.
Ikimasu.
My second appearance in a British courtroom. And my second trial against the Reaper.
Blah, 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 blah.
I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Also, can sword ghosts fight vampires? Because this time I won't let my faith waver. I'll believe in my client to the last. Just like you believed in me. I believe I can do this now. I'm ready for this fight.
February, 10 a.m. The Old Bailey courtroom.
Boy, they are punctual here.
Oh.
Okay, I gotta summon up my judge voice. Yes, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court in session.
The jurors. Holy shit.
I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared, my lord.
The defense is ready, my lord.
Blair. The Nipponese are truly fascinating breed. Yeah, I like this voice.
Sorry, what?
Huh? Lord Strongheart has told me all about you.
I feel like that's a conflict of interest for somebody.
That you are a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur.
Do you have a point?
Being a compatriot, you feel compelled to try to help the accused, I suppose. Typical Nipponese arrogance. I feel like we're calling Kato black here. Forgive me, but I do not believe arrogance is an appropriate description.
Susato-san.
After all, at our previous encounter, the defendant was found to be innocent.
He's going for the wine already.
We're ready!
It's going to be like a 4-glass day, I think.
Very true. And a most fascinating, if dark, trial it was, too.
It was a dark trial. You know, like when they're talking about the dark web and shit like that, shadow games, it was a dark trial.
Clearly, if this was the North American release, Mr. McGill would only got banished to the Shadow Realm. The tragic conclusion came later, of course. Here's to the acquitted and his unfortunate, violent end. Look at those jurors.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure one of them is a guy we've interacted with before, for sure.
No, there's a maid up there.
Oh, there's another maid as well? That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I skipped that line. Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. Nope, that wasn't right. Order! Order!
Order!
Thank you, counsels. I see both sides are in fine fettle. That's not quite it either, but we'll go from there. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, are you ready to carry out your duties here in court as impartial members of the public? You never know when you might be down on your luck, but I believe in fair play for everyone, because I'm Bruce Fairplay. Gotcha, bitch.
Oh my god. Oh, hang on. Well, I must warn you, I'm rather more ruthless than I appear.
Trying to think. Can I do a neutral voice for this guy, but not?
Can you?
I don't, because I already do my neutral voice for Ryunosuke.
Oh.
Actually,
well, if you want to do it,
I'm pretty nah, if you got something, go for it, because I'm pretty sure Miss Garrett is the next one.
yeah, and that's why I said I noticed the maid. Let me see here. Oh well, not me. What you see is what you get. I'm a peace-loving fellow. I feel like I keep splitting into a slightly some.
I'm afraid to say it's quite possible that the mustached foreigner did the deed. Never mind that this is totally not how jury selection works. All right, do you want to be muscly, beardy labor man?
Let me see here. I'm trying to summon some testosterone here. Let's see here.
You'll be so energetic.
So energetic. Man, come on, what are we waiting for? No doubt he did it anyway.
That's pretty good. Eh? Sorry? Didn't quite catch that, Shunny.
Is that the grandma's fucking husband? They look almost exactly the same.
They look very similar, yes.
Very well, let us proceed. Yes.
Your opening statement, if you please, Lord Van Zykes. Not you, Defense. Fuck you.
You. Very recently, Great Britain signed an alliance with a rising power in the Far East. The accused in the dock today is a student from that same land, a certain Mr. Soseki Natsume.
Also, yes, by the way, for purposes of, not that we get to do, voir dire, but, you are not allowed, you are an impartial jury, so anybody who has prior contact with the lawyers or defendants are not allowed. That means Bruce Fairplay should have been replaced with an alternate, and same with Ms. Garadeb. Because you could argue that she has a vested interest in keeping Soseki Natsume out of jail, because then he can continue to pay rent. So, yeah, this is absolute kangaroo court shit, but we'll go with it.
And while our country has extended this foreign student the warmest of welcomes.
Debatable.
He's had 2 years of absolute suffering. Fuck off, Van Zykes. Regrettably, the kindness has not been returned. In fact, this student is accused of a most sinister act. I'm pretty sure the British were still pretty...
Ah!
We're starting off a fire! Of plunging a knife into the back of an innocent woman who was doing nothing but walking down the street.
Holy shit. A knife crime? I can tell you from bitter experience. Those are the worst. Bloody oath they are.
Just look at that shallow complexion and short nature. He's one of those dreadful Japanese.
Racism alert!
Come on, let's get this over with. With me now, everyone. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god.
Eh? Sorry? Didn't quite catch that? I'm Prospector McGillis.
Ray, forgive the discourtesy of smashing my hollow chalice here in this great chamber.
Also, someone get me another one.
Allow me to call the... Wait, where's my opening statement?
Yeah, exactly. You never get one. They always tell you to fuck off.
Allow me to call the first witness to the stand.
Your Honor, my opening statement... Nuh-uh.
Hold it. Where's my objection button?
Very well. Bailiff, need the inspector in, please.
I am slightly bamboozled here. Your name and occupation, please.
Yes, sir. Tobias Gregson, detective. Oh, I gotta get this. I gotta be properly cockney. Yes, there we go. Tobias Gregson, detective inspector at Scotland Yard, yeah.
Would you please summarize the events of the case for the court, Inspector? Oh, okay, never mind, it's not her.
Well, yeah, because she was still in hospital.
True.
Yes, of course, sir. The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green. It's not the right voice for Gregson. Hold on. Right, what's all this, then? All right, yes. The victim is thought to be a young woman in her 20s by the name of Olive Green.
I beg your pardon, Inspector? Thought to be?
Yes, yes, of course. Having been stabbed in the back by her attacker's knife, the victim fell unconscious. That was 3 days ago now, and she's been comatose ever since, yes.
What? So they don't even know who she is for sure? I'm not doing the same Gregson voice I did last time, by the way.
Right, what's all this then? Comatose, I see, yes. But her life is not in danger. A little bit of a Herlock judge there.
Fortunately for the Eastern student, the charge will not be murder. Pray, elaborate on the details, Inspector.
Sir. Yes, sir. If I could ask everyone to look at this street map here. I'm not quite crass enough right now, yes. As I mentioned, the incident took place 3 days ago, at about 5 in the afternoon, yeah. It happened on the pavement running alongside Briar Road. A wide thoroughfare for horse-drawn vehicles. Right. What's all this then? And it don't stop snowing as long as the victim, Miss Green, was walking down the street. That's closer. There we go. Also, I made these little tokens myself.
Ooh, he does not look good in that little 2D sprite. Jeez. Madman.
Out of the blue, she was stabbed from behind by the accused. She was approached from behind by the accused and stabbed in the back. Luckily, the young lady's life was spared, and she's currently being treated at one of the city's hospitals. But, being unconscious as she is, we've been unable to take a statement from her, of course. This is the case file, which everything we know about the victim so far.
Gimme.
Thank you, Inspector. The court will accept this document as evidence, if you please.
I don't think I could do the judge and the Gregson talking to each other. At least not without making them sound the same, so you're gonna have to bear with me. The case file has been added to the court record. Give me the button, give me the button, give me the button.
What of the weapon that was used?
Hold on, Top 216. Case file. I'm going to remain unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Not how stab wounds work. Victim, olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Pavement of Briar Road. Reporting officer, Rolly Beat.
On the beat, huh?
Yeah. Victim remains unconscious. Name was good for personal effect. Details unknown. Single stab with no other signs of injury observed. Sent running away from court. Okay. Not a very strong case. And show me the people. We've collected a shitload of them. Tomato 33, Tobias Gregson 44, Iris, Joan Garrideb. Oh, 38. And Mr. Garrideb is 46.
It's only an 8-year difference.
It does point out that she's in the jury. Holy shit! Van Zykes is younger than Sholmes? Damn.
Listen, that meant Sholmes does not carry any burdens.
True. A truly burdenless man.
Does the Sholmes know stress? No.
Olive green? Question mark. No fucking clue.
Sir. Yes, I have it right here, sir. Yes. It was removed from the victim's back.
It is indeed a switchblade. Ryunosuke, you carry a katana. I'm not even going to read that line. That's a dumb line. You carry a sword.
With a heavy blade like that, almost anybody would have been able to stab the poor woman.
Even a scraggly-looking Soseki-san, I suppose.
Yes. A common garden jackknife, I would say. Rather nondescript, I would say. Yes, thank you, Inspector. Court accepts this blade as evidence.
The jackknife has been added to the court record.
Get in there and open that shit up.
Now then, what do we know about the motive? Money or valuables, I presume?
Your GP or your HP? All right. Open the knife.
It has a broken tip. That means it hit something hard.
Yeah.
Oh, look here, Mr. Naruhodo. Just at the tip. A small piece of the blade appears to be missing.
Well, I mean, they could ask him if he owns a blade, but it's not like they could... The judge literally just said this is a commoner garden. Like, you can pick it up literally anywhere.
You're right. Well spotted, Mr. Sato.
I wonder what could have happened into it. It ran into something very hard.
Yes. You don't think it could still be lodged in the victim, do you?
No. Oh dear. I do hope not. That sounds terribly painful.
Not unless this knife is really shitty. No. Your bones are pretty tough. They're not tougher than steel.
Well, you wouldn't break off. If it hit a bone, it would either move up or down or stop.
Yeah. But the unless you did something very violent to it externally, the tip would not shear off like that in your body. So something funny is going on here. Perhaps if somebody makes a statement about the sharpness of the knife, we can pull that one back.
Yeah.
But all right, he was talking about GP or HP. Yeah, for work, I shall. From what we can tell by looking at the woman's possessions, it looks like she was a poor student herself. I do imagine she would have anything much worth pinching, my lord. Sorry, just having a pivot between these two voices, one of them very low class and one of them very high class, is slightly killing me. Yes, I see.
Do you want me to...
Are we looking at some deep-seated resentment towards the victim, then? Yes. I'm afraid I couldn't say.
Do you want me to do the judge during this?
Yeah, maybe just for this little bit, because, it's very hard to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from in second-hand bookshops, the defendant, Mr. Natsume, doesn't appear to go out much. He's kind of a homebody, don't you know? At this moment in time, we haven't been able to establish much of any sort of connection between him and the victim.
Yes.
Oh.
If theft and grievance had been ruled out as the motive, what reason could Mr. Natsume possibly have had for stabbing the young woman? Yet you arrested them in spite of that, in a totally unjustified and heavy-handed way.
Objection.
Oh, shit.
Ah!
Oh, my God!
My eyes! Into the public gallery! Just fucking two-finger flip.
I like how none of the rest of his body just moves. He's just so fucking flippant with it. Pun intended. Okay, I'm starting to... Pray forgive the discourtesy of flinging a freshly uncorked bottle into the public gallery. Free booze, mates! But your words have soured its hallowed bouquet. Or it is you, my learned friend, who is being heavy-handed here. You didn't even let me get to make opening statements. Fuck off!
Nani?
Scotland Yard does not arrest people without good cause. That should be beyond question. I mean, you literally have nothing except that he ran away from the scene. Inspector Gregson, the prosecution calls for your formal testimony.
All right.
Explain to the court precisely why the constabulary, I can't pronounce that word, came to arrest the Nipponese student.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. No, it's still a little too posh. Right. What's all this then? Mr. Natsume's arrest. As I said, it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon when the incident occurred. There was an unusually light fog. Visibility was reasonably good, and there was no one else but the victim and the accused. Out of the blue, the victim was stabbed from behind and subsequently collapsed on the pavement. The accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor. Those being a number of old books he just bought. He was on his way home from a bookshop, it seems. Don't much care for bookshops myself. It was just a matter of working out who the books belonged to, and then we found a book and arrested him.
I feel this is a very shaky. Old books, you say?
Yes, my lord. I have a photograph here of the crime scene taken immediately after the incident, and somebody's even colorized it.
Yeah, I believe at this time photographs were still brown and white.
Yep.
Oh, yes, I can clearly see the books to which you are referring. There we go. I think that's a bit better. I will take that photographic print as evidence. Please, Inspector.
The crime scene photograph has been entered into the court record.
Okay, two things. I know she's wearing something underneath that fucking coat. There is not a fucking blood stain. You Nipponese are a spineless breed, too cowardly to admit defeat.
Huh?
What does that even mean? Denying everything despite overwhelming evidence to the contrary.
I mean, that might have its own pejorative, but cowardly's not quite the right word. Well,
Forgive me, Borderland Sykes, but the defendant is not denying everything, as you put it.
What are you doing, Mr. Sato?
Do go on. Mr. Natsume has admitted to playing some part in the incident. Isn't that right, Mr. Naruhodo? I mean, he was there.
Well, now that you mention it, when we visited him in the prison yesterday, he did tell us what all happened. Oh, chunky. Flashback. Back.
Oh, God. I know we need to...
I mean, this was 2 weeks ago, or a week ago for us, so...
I know.
It's a good refresher. I mean, we don't have to read
read
it out. Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't have to
it is
read
a
the flashback, but... Let's see. Okay. It's again by checking his accursed logics. A green overcoat.
That's exactly what the woman in that print was wearing.
Oh my! A photographic printed full color! What will the world come up with next?
Oh, okay, so it's just new and fresh.
The defendant has done nothing more than admit he fled the scene of a terrifying incident. This does not mean he is guilty of the heinous crime of stabbing that woman in the back.
There was nobody there else at the time. Just the two of them. The victim and the accused. Lies! There was a third. The officer who witnessed. In other words, there is nobody else who could have possibly stabbed the woman. A fact that the accused concedes. Ryunosuke, please, you are not that dumb. It seems this cross-examination can prove to be pivotal, counsel. Proceed, please.
Or I shall use my laser eyes. Yes, my lord. Nothing for it. I have to use this cross-examiner to turn the tables here. It's our only chance.
Like, they literally said that there is a police officer who saw it, so clearly there was not nobody else there.
All right, so we got 6 statements. It's a little longer than I thought it was. Just...
Can we examine those books? Oh, we can't examine shit.
No.
Fuck!
We can only magnifying glass. It's not important.
Enhance! Enhance!
Nah, just rando. Okay. Let's see. 5 o'clock. Well, I think I'm going to press this one. Now, hold on now. How are you able to state that with any certainty?
Quite simply, my learned friend. Because that is what the witnesses to this crime have told us.
Aha! So
That's
there are witnesses there. Yes. Inspector Gregson mentioned the witnesses yesterday, didn't he?
Okay, you have literally admitted that no one else was there, but there are witnesses. That is literally contradictory.
Yeah. Sadly, we don't have an evidence that takes the form of.
Yeah. That's right. One of them is a policeman, I believe, from Scotland Yard.
That is correct, Bum. Uh-oh.
Damn it.
Then we must hear their testimony.
The prosecution will, of course, call them to the stand, should it be necessary.
But wait a minute here. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, in the middle of winter, it would have been dark already. No matter how light the fog would have been, no one could have seen.
I'm unaware of the situation on your tiny island in the east. Actually, isn't like Japan like
Bitch, I'm pretty
fucking
sure. Yeah, I'm about to say between the multiple Japanese islands, I'm pretty sure they've got more square mileage than England does.
And technically, like, well, the British Isles, it is technically made up of like 3 fucking countries.
Yeah.
This is your racism is showing, Van Zykes.
Yeah.
But here in the capital city of Great Britain, all main roads are illuminated in the night by gas streetlights. Aren't those lit by cops? One that just so happened to be at the scene of the crime?
Ah.
The prosecution believes there have been ample light by which to witness the crime. Quite. Here in London, for the first time in history, mankind has completely conquered the darkness. Lies.
Mm-hmm. Which means we really need to hear those witness statements. If we could just get through the fog of this cross-examination, maybe we'll be able to.
It seems the counsel for the defense is taking stock. Continue with your testimony, Inspector.
Okay, out of the blue, victim was stabbed behind and subsequently collapsed to the pavement. Accused ran off, scattering his belongings all over the floor, being a number of old books.
I mean, we could probably just press everything.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to start pressing everything. The defendant apparently visits a secondhand bookshop on a daily basis.
Yep, so I understand. A shop full of old English literature.
I commend the accused on the lofty subject matter of his scholarly attention.
Are you sure about that, Van Zykes? Do you want to see his reading list?
Book room is stacked full of seeing with these old mushy old books. I'm going a little Michael Caine out here.
Can you tell us more about the bookshop in question, please, Inspector?
Well, if I must, I have to ask you to take a look at the street map again, I'm afraid.
This is a good one. This is a good one to press.
Yeah. Sick!
The closest secondhand bookshop to the accused lodgings place is here. Bourbon Books.
Now, hold on a minute. We know what the receipt's for, though. We groaned at the pun. It was your books, not Bourbon Books. I think we got him.
Interesting.
A little place on the corner of Briar Road and Measham Street. Mitcham Street.
Still have no idea who you're supposed to pronounce that.
As it happens, the accused is currently living in lodgings on the other side of Briar Road at the opposite end. Which means it don't take a genius to work out what route he would have taken out. Not like that Herlock Sholmes. Anyway, look at my little tokens again. Something like this.
Dick.
The local maps information has been updated in the court record.
Perfect. Yes, I can. Actually, we probably could present it to the thing there, but we should probably keep
can't
that.
present in the middle of statements.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, I concur with your conclusion, Inspector. The defendant would certainly have passed the scene of the crime on his way home from that particular shop. Mr. Naruhodo, I think what the inspector just told us could turn out to be vital importance.
Yes, I agree.
I really hate being 3 steps ahead.
The most important point the inspector made just now was the bookshop's name. Inspector Gregson, may I ask you a favor?
What? What?
Would you kindly add the name of the bookshop to your formal testimony, please? I believe it may be of vital importance.
What?
I'm about to activate my fucking trap card here.
Well, you know, I mean, yes. It can be a very important clue.
Very well. Not that I can see it being of any great significance. But please revise your testimony accordingly, Inspector. Thank you, Judge, for being a neutral party in this.
Yes, my lord, whatever you say.
Can the man be any more sardonic?
Well, it's just I have this saluting.
Alright, so
Oh, you can present now.
now we can present. So let's go there. Let's examine. Yep, your books. Objection, motherfucker. If I could just stop you right there, Inspector Gregson.
What is it, Sunshine? I'm a busy man, you know.
This is a receipt that we found in Mr. Natsume's room. You know, that thing we lawyers are supposed to do. It was issued on the day of the incident and details the purchase of 3 secondhand books.
Oh, you found that in the accused room, did you?
Yes, but the point is not where the receipt was found. It's the name of the shop printed on it.
Go on.
By the way, we've hit 3 hours. I suspect after we clear this witness, we will probably call it a night, an even tide.
Sounds good to me.
The receipt was issued from a bookshop called Your Books.
Your books? Y-O-R-E, I presume.
Yes, my lord. So Mr. Natsume did indeed purchase a number of bookshops at a secondhand bookshop. A number of books at a secondhand bookshop that day. That's where all his money goes. He's buying bookshops.
Well, that's where he gets all the books for him.
However, the bookshop in question was not Bourbon Books.
Eh? What? What?
Inspector, do you know of this other bookshop?
Yes, sir. Your Books is another secondhand bookshop not too far from Bourbon Books. It's just that, well, sir, it's such a small place, I didn't think the accused would have known about it.
Objection.
But in fact, it is the bookshop which the defendant visited on the day in question. And this receipt proves it.
Objection.
Would you objection mine? Yes, for what difference it makes.
I will...
Wherever the man purchased his musty tombs, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Objection.
You're wrong. I disagree. I mean, after all,
I have the street map here, if that might be of help.
Oh, yes, thank you. Have a look at this, please. If the defendant had been returning from Bourbon Books, then yes, he would have almost certainly passed the place where Miss Green was attacked. However, if we take into account the fact that he was actually at another bookshop, Your Books, it may very well turn out that he wouldn't have passed that location at all.
Could that be true?
My. It rather depends on where this other bookshop is, but I do declare it might be a possibility. Oh man, she might be a little bit of a Southern belle. Is that right, Mr. Lawyer, sir? What you just said? I can't do British voices for the fucking juror to save my life. I don't know why.
Well, it's because we're trying to do plain Jane, so... Like, he's just so normal looking. Absolutely. It absolutely could be right. Like I said, my problem with that juror was just the fact that I can't do like a neutral voice for him because I do my neutral voice for Ryunosuke. Sometimes a little extra anime.
Inspector Gregson, where is this Your Books establishment?
Well, obviously we looked into that.
All right, where is it?
It turns out that Your Books is right here on the next corner of Mission Street, going east, sir.
Interesting.
Google Maps information has been updated in the court record again. And there you have it. As you can clearly see now. Oh. Ran out of juice a little bit.
My learned Nipponese friend is obviously trained to be a clown the way he regales us with such witticisms.
Zam, the clown joke.
To your future career in the circus.
Oof. That's a meme cut, by the way. It wasn't actually a line that Edgeworth had, but there was a very infamous meme back in the old school objection days, if everybody remembers that old web trick, where there was a quote floating around the internet of Edgeworth saying, "You are not a clown, you are the entire circus." So, hey, references.
Oh shit! You put that class down now, or I'll put it down for you. Shit.
I didn't think we need to spell it out, but here we go. If the accused were coming home from your books instead of Bourbon books, he still would have had to go around the Brow Roadway. There's no doubt he still would have passed the place where the victim was stabbed.
God damn it. I mean, I figured it was like that, but still.
I mean, the thing is, he could equally go either way, I guess. If we can find any reason for him to have not gone that way.
Maybe there's a circus nearby he wanted to avoid. Yes, thank you, Inspector.
Ah.
Allow me to reiterate for my learned, if somewhat slow, Nipponese friend. Whatever the man purchases musty tomes, it makes no difference in the final analysis.
Ah! Ah! As I
Oh, gosh, he's getting-
suspected, you can't fool me, and I did suggest you try.
What did I say, eh? I've had enough of this now.
Beg your pardon? Sure, but would you mind repeating that? Eh, what's that?
Mr. Naruhodo, we mustn't give up.
What do you mean?
The prosecution's assertion is correct. The member of the jury very well decide that Mr. Natsume is guilty.
Ah, she's absolutely right.
We must think. We must consider the assertion just put forward by the prosecution very, very carefully.
It claims Yoseki-san must have passed the location of the incident on his way home from your books, but
No,
raise an objection. Yeah, full desk claim. The assertion just made by the prosecution is fundamentally flawed.
Bleh. Explain yourself, counsel.
Yes, my lord. You can see what I mean on this map, my lord. When returning from your books to his lodgings, Mr. Natsume could have followed the route suggested by the prosecution. However, that isn't the only conceivable route to take between the two places. Yeah, so we're just going to go for it. We don't even have to, call him on anything. If the defendant used these streets, look what happens.
Yeah.
He arrives back at his lodgings without passing the location where the victim was attacked.
Objection!
Talking back to a clown is a fool's errand, of course. However, I feel compelled to point out that. I thought it was just about the backhand of the wine bottle. That route is commonly referred to as the long way round.
Ah.
On a cold winter's night, why would any man choose to take the longer route home?
Well,
The answer is extremely simple. He wouldn't. In other words, the accused took the obvious route back to his lodgings and is the obvious perpetrator of this crime.
Objection!
Ah, yes, I've got it. Obviously, we must ask the man himself. We should ask Mr. Natsume which route he took home.
I have already informed the court of the accused's response to such questioning. He claims he has no recollection. God damn it!
Technically the appropriate response when called on by police, but unfortunately now you're on the record.
That's right. As I said, book seems to spend his time also wandering aimlessly from A to B. From book to book, this day was no exception. He says he doesn't remember where he was or which route he took home.
I mean, that's not disproving our theory. I don't believe this. Wow, two in one block of testimony.
I thank you, my learned friend. And I suggest we do not waste any more of this court's time by wandering aimlessly around the subject. Ray, what say you, insightful jurors?
But even if that is the case, the defense still... Oh, who called hold it?
Whoa, shit! Are we just
No!
going straight to
No, no, no. I agree with Lord Van Zax. Wholeheartedly, and in every way. What? I don't believe it. Does this mean... We members of the jury are completely convinced now.
Very well. In that case, I hereby call upon all members of the jury to present your findings to the court.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
What was that voice?
Guilty.
Was he supposed to be like a little Irish labor man? He's way too muscly for that voice. Anyway, they just holy shit decided he's guilty. Fuck.
This is fucking bullshit.
This is horse shit.
It appears that the jury's leaning is unanimous.
I have
You know,
died.
I'm gonna need you to go fucking to pull out your fucking sword and cut that fucking that scale off because it's fucking stupid. To the insightful members of the jury, I applaud your brave resolve. You serve Queen and country admirably. Is there not a hodo? I mean, we gotta do the fucking thing again.
No, not yet. It's not over yet. I still have one last chance to sway the opinion of the jury. I have to tip the balance of those scales the other way. I have to turn this around. Somehow.
Those are the eyes of Quarry not yet willing to give up and die. So I presume you intend to wield your rights again in this trial. Rights of the defense written into antiquated British law that should have been buried long ago.
Well, the violinists say so. Call it antiquated if you will. But it's the defense's prerogative to carry out a summation examination if it so chooses.
Very well, counsel. In accordance with the letter of the law, we shall proceed with a summation examination. Are the members of the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Of course we're ready. I'm all too familiar with that Nipponese whippersnapper and his uncus refusal to throw in his alley.
That's already a conflict of entrance. You need to get the fuck out. Just get out my house. Very well then.
I mean, what Van Sykes is absolutely correct. This is why there is not such a thing like the summation examination. When the jury is decided, they're decided, and you're not supposed to, like, nickel and dime them. The thing is, obviously, it wouldn't work for this because then they couldn't have a mechanic with it. But what the jury actually does is they fucking leave. They go talk about it in private, and then they come back with the verdict.
You will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty.
But like I said, this is more interactive. And this is probably where we'll call it judicial findings.
I'm curious to hear. Oh, fuck. I don't know what.
Jurors' contentions. So
This is a bit of a cliffhanger.
save right here. Yeah, you get your action dynamic. Where the lunatics have immediately decided unanimous guilty. Not even like the first case where it was like 2x2 hands of blue shit. Like, nah, straight up just like Bruce Fairplay is just like, fuck you. We're going. So we will unpack the summation examination next time when we come back, because we are heartily full this. Yes, fuck you, Axe. It's been 3 hours. I know you weren't here for some of it, but no. We'll remember the voices. I will never forget the voice of Bruce Fairplay. Also, yes, if you haven't logged into FGO yet, make sure you do so right now, because I believe we're going to have some maintenance before the summer event drops. As usual, make sure you're logged in. Even if we're not, make sure you're logged in. After this, I will have, as I speed ran it myself, I will have Wanted Summer 5 Part 1 up for y'all after the stream is concluded. So be sure to keep an eye out for that if you want more continued viewing. But next time we'll be firing off into the heart of this case, and hopefully we'll be able to wrap this up. Yep. See everybody at summer camp.
And with all that and whatnot and so on, I think we will call it an even tide. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and all that. So we'll see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Stream it.